Hello everyone, happy Tuesday and welcome back to another day trading recap video. Today was weird, right? Pre-market was pretty okay, specifically from 7 to 8. It was really nice. 8 to 9, horrible, which is not surprising. It's kind of like the general trend. 7 to 8 is usually really good. 8 to 9 somehow doesn't work out as well. And then 9 to 9:30, there wasn't really anything. And then 9:30 to 10, it was just miserable. So the market opened, it was disgusting. There was flushes left and right. I know it hit a lot of people in the Discord. It hit me personally. I went from green on the day up over like 15%. It was a killer day. And then the market opened, I was red. And then I went ahead and called it. I had to do something else. I walked away. And then right before I was about to start the recap video, I got IGMS popped up. This was like around 11. I saw it and I did a few very, very small trades on it, which is kind of upsetting in a way. I mean, this thing ran 45%. 47, 50%, maybe even in 15 minutes. And I just barely I made like small percent moves on here, mainly because I was red, and the longer I traded today, the more money I gave back. It was a very frustrating day. So I kind of felt like I was coming back, and maybe I was trading IGMS because of FOMO and revenge trading, as opposed to like it was a really good setup. Now it was a really good setup, and we're gonna really dive into IGMS right now, but at the same time, if I was green today, had a little bit more confidence, didn't think like, oh, the market's really bad today, IGMS, this is a pure revenge trade, I think I would have held longer, I would have got more aggressive, I would have sized up. But every time I try to size up today, I got really whacked for it, specifically after 8 a.m. So it was a tricky day for me personally, and that's why I don't want to keep gunning it. So here's my results. I'm up $48 today, which is just so painful. My P&L curve today is going to look like this. It's going to go up really, really nicely. And then pre-market in 2 trades, I gave it all back. And then I was like at break even. Then the market opened and I went negative. Not a lot, but like 2-3%. And then IGMS just put me back into the green. But ultimately, it was a scratch day, and man, it feels like I did a lot of trading today, and I don't have really anything to show for it. I guess I'm happy that I'm not red. It's a good reminder to, it's just like sometimes as long as you're not red, you shouldn't be too upset. Even sometimes when I'm red, I'm not even that upset because I'm like, oh, I actually, managed my risk pretty well. There just wasn't a lot of opportunities. I kind of wish I just stopped trading earlier, but it was one of those days where like, it felt like everything, it was just like almost there. Like we're just about to get that ticker. And then that's exactly what happened. Eventually, finally we did. And I think a little bit of the reason I came back to trade around 11 o'clock, which is basically something I never do, is because the market 8 to 9, 9 to 10 were just really bad. And usually when it's that bad at the market open and then, late pre-market, there's usually somewhat of a reversal around 10, 10:30, 11, and that's exactly what we got today. So that's why I didn't feel super weird coming back, but at the same time, I was lacking confidence to really, put myself back to, new P&L highs on the day. So let's go ahead and review all these tickers. There's some that are just really uninteresting to talk about, so I'll kind of just go really quick through them, and then I'll be able to focus on some of the more exciting tickers like GFAI and IGMS. Let's start with Love. Love. This is such a silly loss here. And you know what? It wasn't even really the biggest mistake on my end. It was unfortunately one of the last trades I made before I, quote unquote, walked away and then came back, and then IGMS popped up and I started to trade that one. But, this ticker LOVE isn't really that exciting. I mean, look at this. It's a 50 million shares outstanding. That's actually pretty okay. But market cap, almost $1 billion when I was trading it. And they beat some estimates. I don't know. They had some catalysts coming out here that was okay. Near a lot of big resistance here. I thought maybe we would see 66 or so, maybe a little bit of a pop above that. So that's why I started trading it. And on the 5-minute, you can see we were really kind of popping this area, and I started trading this pullback, looking for that last continuation. I don't really regret trading LOVE. I think it could have easily had good follow through. It just, it just didn't. So I actually had some pretty good entries here. I was up a little bit. I was waiting for that, last pop here. Didn't work. I should have cut my losses a little bit quicker here. I actually ended up cutting at like 60, so somewhere in the top half of this candle, which was good because it eventually kept on selling off. Tried a few more attempts to break higher here, but it didn't work. Anyway, yeah, it could have worked, but it didn't. So that's why I'm not so upset about LOVE. It kind of was an okay setup. It just unfortunately died right in my hands. BBBY, this ticker was also And you can see I traded a few more large caps today because today it was a very weird SPY open. Let's quickly go to the SPY just very fast. Look at this open here. So it was a gap up day, then we spiked higher but instantly sold off, then we came back, and then we've just been selling off ever since. And then we had this rebound here, and this is really when the large caps from 10 to 11, a lot of them started rallying really hard. And I just started seeing them pop up in my scanner here, and I was like, okay, well, this is a bit weird, but I'm going to start trading it because a lot of these tickers are on the perfect front side. So if they're on a good front side, I'm going to trade it. I don't really try to discriminate too much what kind of ticker it is, but at the same time, I do have my favorite tickers, and that's basically the small caps with floats and market caps below 50 million, and they're on a good front side, and they're priced between $2 and $7. You guys know that. That's like what I'm really looking for. If it's a large cap, they tend to trade a little bit awkwardly, but yeah, it is what it is in terms of, you know, being able to pick your stocks, right? It's really what's trading, not what you want to trade. BBBY, sorry, I was like, wait, why is this ticker not popping up? I clicked on the wrong one. So this one I'm down $35. It's fine. I tried. We had a breakout right around here. This ticker is also quite high. It's not so important to talk about the daily, but you know, it's a classic large cap, 2.6 million shares outstanding, very high. And then right here into this pullback, we had a nice breakout of this roughly flat top zone around 28.5 or so. I traded this pullback looking for some continuation, and again, we didn't get that continuation. So for some reason, my trades aren't popping up right now. But basically, right in this area, I had my last. I was kind of hoping and holding, and you know, breakout or bailout. It didn't make it, so I think I cut my losses somewhere in this area, right when we were breaking this candle. Good thing I did because I kept on selling off. PIK, ticker I'm slightly green on, and look at BBBY very quickly here. We have this potential double top coming up at 30 roughly. So that's why I thought maybe we're gonna, have this last little rip towards 30 and then start selling off. That's why I was a little bit more aggressive thinking on that. PIK, let's see what we got here. Let's go to the daily chart. It is a classic small cap, so I want to focus on the daily first. Recent IPO, well, not super recent, but late last year. Then we had a strong run in this area. We've been pulling back, and today we're having a bit of a little potential dead cat bounce or something like that, with earnings coming up in 2 days. So that's going to be interesting to watch. Internet and direct marketing company. 7.6 million shares outstanding, 40 million market cap, yada yada. So it's really nice, between $2 and $7. This is usually what I'm looking for, PIK. The problem was, yesterday we tried to run and we got rejected in this 575 zone, or this was 2 days ago. So this was on Friday. I didn't trade Friday. I was on holiday. Yesterday we were kind of consolidating, and today we're really just stuck in this range. And I started trading this one into that, potential breakout here. I actually had a pretty okay entry. I just, I don't even know what I was thinking here. First of all, I traded very small size. So there's that. And this is because I was already red on the day. Once I'm red on the day, I start kind of overthinking sometimes the trading or getting too scared. So that was a little annoying. So yeah, small size here. I mean, this was a 6% move. I could have at least walked away with half of that. Somehow I did small size and just closed right away and barely walked away with any money. So that was a bit of a mistake on my end. So I should have at least, waited. Because like I was saying in yesterday's recap video, the ticker's in a trend until it proves not to be in a trend. So I would rather have my last trade be a red trade than stop trading a ticker that goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 500% plus, just because I'm like, oh, it's extended. I know it's over once, I have that boom, that red trade, like right here. Like if I was buying here and instead of continuing, it fails, right? So yeah, here I psyched myself out. If I just held a little bit longer, said, let's see what happens. Let's give it a little bit of time. Boom, it could have been a pretty decent winner. Obviously, I would have had to size up more. This was like a $570 position size, so probably my small size of the day. It should have been like a $5,000 position size. Again, I don't really know what I was thinking here, but yeah, kind of stressful. Now things, these were a little bit better. With with HYMC and GFAI specifically, I was up quite a lot pre-market, and then I gave it all back, specifically on GFAI, but also a little bit with HYMC. So let's go to this one. Start on the daily. I'll kind of go really quickly through these because we've talked about them almost every day now. Well, actually not every day because last week I was off, but they've been tickers you guys have been seeing now for about 3 weeks, so it's nothing really new here. let's see, metals company, 107 million shares outstanding, 280 million market cap. So it's a little bit on the higher side for sure. It is a mining company, so those been a hot space lately. Let's go to the 5-minute and zoom in on this one. So yes, yeah, this one's been on a really nice front side trend. And then today it really broke that trend. I was trading this one pre-market. I think it was pre-market for a bit. Ooh boy, trades aren't showing up again. Let me quickly reload and see if that fixes it. HYMC. I really hope it fixes it because I think I did a few trades on this one. Not really showing up. Let's go to the filled orders, and you guys can see I kind of have a lot going on here. So I traded this one, looks like around 933. So I lost into that open. That was a little stressful. I was trading it a little bit, yeah, mostly right at the market open, looking for that continuation. And I think, let me see if I traded this one pre-market at all. Actually, no. So it was only right at the market open. That's pretty easy to talk about. And I definitely recall these trades. I just thought I traded it pre-market as well. Now let me zoom out on the 5-minute to get a good overview, and zoom out again last time really quickly on the 1-minute. So we can see we were really trying this one pre-market, and then pre-market at 7 a.m. Tried this little bounce here. I didn't trade that. Yeah, now I remember. And then eventually we got back above VWAP. And this is when I thought it was kind of interesting, because right in this area we had a really nice 5-minute breakout. I started trading it in here, looking for continuation, had a small profit here, and then I think I did it one more time somewhere in this area, like the trade said, around 90.33. So yeah, I did another trade here. Again, I think I did really small size on this one, so I wasn't really able to walk with any profits, and I remember having a loss on it as well. But either way, I only walked away with $45 profit, so kind of embarrassing, for the fact that there was some potential here. Yeah, hold on, let me go back here just really quickly. Yeah, just small size. I guess that was really the only impediment on there. Yeah, it didn't hold really long either. So yeah, nothing really too exciting on HYMC. I think if this one was able to hold this a little bit higher, my goal was to keep trading it to about 3.5. So you can kind of see the trend here a little bit today is there was a lot of tickers moving, right? So you're a little bit all over the place, which is never a great spot to be. And then second of all, a lot of the tickers I was trading, they were lacking that continuation. Like I would be trading that pullback, and then boom, the pullback would fail. So I closed my position. Today could have been a really good green day if, well, I just wrapped up earlier. And then really too, if we just had a little bit more resolution on a few of these tickers that I traded specifically. I mean, IGMS, for example, has great resolution. So if I traded that one and held, it would have been a really good green day. But unfortunately, I just traded that one very, very small amount. Yeah, just didn't get a lot of fall through for the tickers I traded. With GFAI, let's go to this one. I'm up $74 on it. Not really too exciting of amount. Yeah, it's been on a recent little bounce here. It's up on earnings. Big resistance around 2 and like 1.9. Diversified support services company, 30 million shares outstanding and a 43 million market cap. So this company is really, a classic one that I'm looking for. So this is pretty exciting. GFAI pre-market was also really nice. The problem was it was stuck in this ascending wedge, and I noticed that a little bit too late, but also more than noticing that a little bit too late, because actually I did notice that by this area, and that's why ascending wedges do typically break to the downside, and that's why I stopped trading it once I was in this area. I was thinking we'd have a little bit more of a pop here, and in this area is really where I gave back all my profits. This was stressful because I was up very nicely on GFAI. I think I was up like close to $600 on GFAI, and that doesn't maybe sound like a lot of money relative to maybe other traders. But I like you guys know, if you're on this channel for a little bit, I've been reducing my position size because it hasn't been the best the start to the year for me. I'm green on the year, but it's just not that great. It's been very choppy out there, so I reduced my position size. So I was up, about 10 to 15, somewhere in that area percent based on my average position size, which is like a really good green day. And then I gave it pretty much all back on these last two trades, and that was really kind of frustrating. So let's dive into GFAI and see how I messed that one up and maybe could have done a little bit better. Okay, let's hide this alert or close this alert, and then we have it a little bit nicer. So let's actually go to the unlimited account to kind of hide some of these trades. So I traded this front side. This was really nice. My problem here on this initial front side, which was a really good 5-minute breakout, and then I basically just started getting aggressive on it. I just didn't use big enough size. But if we go back to my IRA account, you can see I did stop trading it at a pretty okay spot here. It was maybe a little bit too much trading. I should have stopped this one a little bit earlier. But if we come back here, you can see that, well, not all accounts, unlimited account, you can see that basically in this area, I didn't trade it at all. Then it breaks back above the 5-minute or VWAP on a 5-minute nice breakout, and I start trading this again. Here, I somehow didn't do that well. Let's go back to the IRA. I think somewhere in this area, I gave back some profits, which was a little bit unnecessary. I made some nice trades here, and I gave back a little bit here. All together in this area, I was still net more money than, well, with this front side plus this front side, I was net a nice amount cumulatively. So I didn't give back more than I made here, so that was good. And now in this area is really where I made all my mistakes, and this was a little bit frustrating. Let's go back to the unlimited. Right here we had a nice pullback. Unfortunately, we didn't have any more continuation. It sold off again here. I pretty much closed at the perfect low right before it pops back up, and I'm like, ah. So this trade, I used bigger size, and I gave back quite a significant amount, unfortunately. And then in this area, basically the same thing happens where it starts crawling up again. I'm buying into the breakout. I'm looking for that move. Let's go back to the unlimited count. Into this kind of bigger resistance zone. This is like an 8% potential move, which, you know, this ticker was able to do in the past. But now we're really kind of stuck in this, you know, weird resistance zone between 1.7 and 1.8. Just seems like there's a lot of sellers that keep smacking down the price. I thought we were going to get at least a little bit of an attempt here, but we didn't. And this is when I took my second really big loss on it. I was basically buying high into this breakout, looking for that continuation. And then I, again, sold this one near the perfect low, like right around here. It bounced a little bit and then continued selling off. So, you know, it was good that I cut my losses, but I cut my losses a little bit too at a bad spot. The timing on cutting my losses was really poor, and yeah, just like that, I gave back pretty much all my profits in GFAI. At least I'm still green on it, but very frustrating. And then, you know, I was done trading, and I come back to make my recap video, and all of a sudden, IGMS has this big breakout here, right around 11 o'clock, and I just see this breakout, and I start trading it. Unfortunately, my trades aren't popping up now, but I didn't really trade that great, so it's not so important. Let's see, my first one was on IGMS right around here at 11:01, 2632. Yeah, 11:01, 2632. Yeah, I traded a little bit of a pop here, and then I traded one more time here. Both times I just, you know, I think I did this breakout or this breakout, but either way, they were really good setups, nice 1-minute pullbacks. I just, and actually the second one I held pretty long too. I just used fairly small size, so it didn't really make that much of a dent. I wish I was trading, you know, like my former average closer to $10,000 per position size. That really would have, you know, at least nailed me a pretty decent green day. But I think for the fact that a lot of the tickers that I traded today just didn't work out, I'm pretty happy that I'm not in the red. At least I had some decent trades as well. I think what I need to work on a little bit more is my position sizing. If I just, you know, was able to identify that some moves were a little bit nicer and size up into those, as opposed to, you know, start sizing up a little bit more into B quality setups like GFAI near the end. GFAI, like right here, when it was somehow, you could just feel that this ticker was a little bit weaker at this point. So I could still trade this one, that's fine, but I should be using smaller size. It's not at this point maybe an A quality setup anymore. And look at this big red candle here. So this is basically, when I noticed this big red candle is when I stepped away from this ticker. So yeah, maybe just trade a little bit smaller size at this point. It's hard to do, and I think you'd get better over time managing your position size. It's at one point it becomes a very like subconscious, where you just like, this is one of those classic movements where I should, you know, size down a little bit. So experience really comes into play in these areas. So yeah, position sizing is you know, one of those things that just makes such a big difference. And I think that was today the easiest way I could have done a little bit better. Or just notice, hey, you know what? I'm up pretty nice today. It's pretty rare that I'm up 15% almost based on my average position size. You know, just take the victory. And that's always a big one. I think I talked about that a lot. So that could have been the easiest way to wrap it up, because it's very rare that I'm up over 20% based on my average size. It's very, very rare. So I should have just took that profit and walked away. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tickers I traded today. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in to this day trading recap. If you learned something, don't forget to drop a like on the way out. It's the easiest way to support the channel. If you're totally new, consider subscribing. We'd love to see you again. And like always, guys, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.